Hello students, now we are going to learn about karyotyping and pedigree analysis. So what do you mean by karyotyping? Actually, karyotyping is a technique by which a complete set of chromosomes is separated from a cell and the chromosomes are arranged in pairs. So that is called as karyotyping. It is a technique through which a complete set of chromosome is separated from a cell and the chromosomes are arranged in pairs. The diagrammatic representation of the chromosome is called as ideogram. So an ideogram refers to a diagrammatic representation of chromosomes. So now we are going to see about how to prepare karyotyping. So this method was introduced by Tigio and Levin in 1960. So they described a simple method of culturing lymphocytes. So lymphocytes are nothing but the white blood cells. So in order to make it to undergo cell division, they induce mitosis. So after that, they added a chemical substance called colchicine. Why they are adding this colchicine means in order to arrest the cell division at metaphase stage. So why they are arresting the cell division at metaphase stage means, so in the metaphase stage only the chromosomes are clearly visible under microscope. So after arresting the cell division, they break the cell membrane and release the chromosome. Okay. So then they spread the metaphase chromosome and photographed. After taking photograph, so they cut the individual chromosome from the photograph. They cut the individual chromosome from the photograph and they arrange the chromosome in an order, homologous pair. Okay. So after taking the photograph, they cut the individual chromosome from the photograph and then they arrange the chromosome in their homologous pair. So this arrangement is called as karyotype. And also, if you view under the microscope, the chromosome shows many banding pattern. So that will give a structural definition for that chromosome and also it is useful for differentiation of the chromosome. So next we are going to see about applications of karyotyping. For what purpose we have to carry out the karyotyping. So there are many applications of karyotyping. The first one is, so karyotyping helps in gender identification. Then it is used in predicting evolutionary relationships between the species. So how the species are related based on the evolution. Then it is also helps to identify the chromosomal abnormalities. Then it is used to detect the chromosomal aberrations. So chromosomal abnormalities includes deletion, duplication, translocation, non-disjunctioning of chromosome. So without separate at the time of meiosis, the chromosome has to be separated out. So if it is not separated out, with the help of karyotyping, we can identify that non-separation of chromosome, that is called as non-disjunction. And what do you mean by chromosomal aberrations means, it, for example, aneuploidy. Aneuploidy is a chromosomal aberration. And the next application is genetic disease in human. It is used to detect genetic disease in human. So these are the applications of karyotyping. Next we are going to see about human karyotype. So already you have learned about the structure of chromosome, is it? So in a chromosome, so if you, while you are learning that, you can say, so chromosome possesses two arms. At the center of the arm, there is a centromere. Okay. So depending upon the position of the centromere and the relative length of the two arms, human chromosomes are divided into three types. So they are metacentric, submetacentric and acrocentric. Here the chromosomal arms are equal and the centromere present at the center of the two arms. And the case of submetacentric, here the chromosomal arms are unequal. One of the arm is large and another one is small because of the location of the centromere. The centromere will move towards one of the end of the chromosome. And the case of acrocentric, the centromere present at one of the end of the chromosome. So it has only one arm, that is acrocentric. And the photograph of the chromosomes are arranged in the order of descending length. Okay, so during karyotyping, the chromosomes are arranged in homologous pairs according to the length of the chromosome, and the chromosomes are grouped under A to G. It is the chromosome is grouped into 7 groups and it is named with the help of alphabet A to G. So this is the picture of the karyotyping. Here the first 3 chromosomal pairs, homologous pairs, are kept under the group A. So under the group A, all the chromosomes are longer than that of the other chromosomes. And next to the length of the group A, the group B has chromosome number 4 and 5. And group C is the largest group. So it possesses chromosome number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And also it includes X chromosome also. They are kept under group C. And 13, 14, 15 are kept under group D. And 16, 17, 18 are under group E. 19, 20 are under group F. So see the size of the chromosome. So from group A to group G, the size of the chromosomes are in descending order. From group A to group G, the size of the chromosomes are arranged in a descending order. So at last, the last group is G, so which contain chromosome number 21, 22 and the Y chromosome are also included under group G. So next we are going to see about pedigree analysis. So pedigree analysis is also, it is nothing but a family tree. And it is drawn with the standard genetic symbols. So while they are drawing the family tree, they possess standard genetic symbols. Okay. And what is the use of this pedigree analysis? It shows the inheritance path for specific phenotypic character. Okay. So in order to find out how that specific phenotypic character inherited, if you want to see that, we can carry out this pedigree analysis. So what is pedigree analysis? It is nothing but the study of traits, study of characters as they have appeared in a given family. As they have appeared in a given family line for several past generations. Okay, so suddenly you may get one of the character. So in a family. Okay, so if you want to know, so what is the family history for that particular character? So at that time we can analyze that character by means of pedigree analysis. These are the standard genetic symbols. With the help of the symbol only, they will drawn out that pedigree analysis. They have drawn out the family tree. So first the square indicates the male and the circle indicates female, and your square and circle are connected means that is called as mating, that is marriage. Then so if from that connected circle and square, if you have drawn out another branch, that indicates the offspring of that particular couple, that is parents. These are parents and these are children, that is one boy and one girl child. And if it is connected like this, then it is called as dizygotic twins. That means the twins are born from two different zygote. And if it is connected with the same symbol, then it is called as monozygotic twins. That means the twins are developed from the same zygote. Then if it is in the form of diamond, then sex unspecified. So without saying the sex, they have given just a person. Okay, that is indicated as diamond. If it is given 2, 3 means the number of children of sex indicated. If inside the box, if it is given 2, square box, if it is given 2, then it 2 male child. If it is given 3, then it is 3 female child. And here, if the boxes are shaded, then we can say that they are affected individuals. So that individual possesses that particular phenotypic character. If it is half filled, then they are heterozygotes for autosomal recessive. That means they possess dominant as well as recessive gene for that particular character. And if it is given circle with dot, the carrier of the sex-linked recessive. So here this is autosomal recessive body chromosome, and if it is given circle with dot, then they are called as sex-linked recessive. Usually the carriers of sex-linked recessives are female, so it is given a circle with dot inside. And if a square with cut is given, means that particular person is dead. Then if the symbol is like this, then it may be abortion or stillbirth. That means we cannot say what is the sex of that fetus. And if the symbol is given like this, then propositus. That means that is a first person. That means a person from whom a line of descent is traced. Okay, that is the first person. From those person only that particular character is traced out. That is called as propositus. Then if it is given like this, if the picture is like this, then the method of identifying person in a per degree. Here, this is the method of identifying the person with the help of per degree. So here, these persons are normal. But the second one, in the second generation, the second person is affected one. That means that person possesses that particular trait, particular gene. Okay, so here it's a method of identifying person in a per degree. Here the propositus in child 2 in generation, in child 2 in generation 2 or second generation. The second generation, second child is possess that particular phenotype. Then if it is given like this, consanguineous marriage, that is marriage between the relatives, inside the relatives. So these are the symbols used for drawing the per degree charts. Okay, students, we have learned about the karyotyping and per degree analysis. So next class we can see about the genetic disorders. Thank you, students.